Shadowlands delayed. Let me bring up my scene here. An update on Shadowlands. I wanted to let you know that we're delaying the release of Shadowlands to later this year, and while we're still in the process of determining the right new date to launch, we felt it was important to let you know about this change in plans as soon as we could. This was an incredibly difficult decision for the team, as we're eager to get the expansion into your hands so you can play, but ultimately we feel that this is the right decision for the game and for our players. Over the past several months of testing, we've made significant progress iterating on and polishing the core features and gameplay of Shadowlands. We're at the point where the zones, the campaign, the level up questing experience, and the story we have to tell are essentially ready to share. We're excited by the covenants at the heart of the expansion, and it's been a thrill to see Torghast take shape into a fun kind of new WoW experience, thanks in no small part to your input. However, as everything started to come together and we've been listening to and building upon your feedback, it's become clear we needed a little more time for additional polish and to balance and iterate on some interlocking pieces, particularly those related to the endgame. Shadowlands is one of the most intricate expansions we've created, which is very true. And while we've made great progress, the challenge of tuning the endgame was compounded by the team having to work from home. That's one thing I want to comment on before we keep going on this is that was the one thing that really surprised me when they announced the release date of Shadowlands to be the end of October, because typically the expansions release like November. And with coronavirus and how much is going into this expansion, I was actually really surprised to see them have such an early release date. I was actually kind of shocked. Blizzard has a commitment to quality. We believe Shadowlands will be something special, and we've heard from many of you who feel the same. We need this extra time to ensure Shadowlands lives up to its full potential. In the meantime, we're excited to announce that beginning October 13th is the official date of the pre-patch, boys. We will have the pre-patch. It lays a lot of the groundwork for the expansion and includes our revamped character leveling, new player experience at Exile's Reach, and a host of new character customization options. And once we get close to Shadowlands release, you'll be called upon to defend Azeroth against a resurgence of the Scourge during our pre-launch event. Thanks for your support and passion, for your continued help and feedback as we head towards the finish line. We'll see you in the Shadowlands soon. From John Haidt, executive producer of World of Warcraft. Okay, so I will admit, I really wanted Shadowlands to come out at the end of October. Like, I really did. I wanted it to come out, just selfishly from a content creation perspective. There's really not much else to cover and do in BFA. We're kind of dried up at this point. And so selfishly, from just a creation standpoint, I've really been looking forward to Shadowlands coming out because I'm ready to just dive into everything and dive into all the creation for it. But with that being said, I do think, on the other hand, and most importantly, and this is the side that I am leaning to, it is really important that Shadowlands is as good as possible. Just because, again, BFA was such a bad expansion, honestly, overall. The gearing process was a mess. A lot of the tuning and just intricacies and balance, like the whole expansion, I just don't think it was obviously good. Many people obviously agree. And I think it'd be really, really bad for WoW to have two problematic expansions right in a row. The way that it's been in the past typically is you have a good to bad, a good to bad, and good to bad. And it's not, we just kind of know that that's kind of part of the process right now of playing WoW. But because BFA was arguably one of the worst, I think making sure that Shadowlands is as good as possible to kind of help breathe life back into things is extremely, extremely important. And they are completely right in this post. Shadowlands has a lot of intricate systems, a lot of systems that are really tied together and interlinked. And they have a lot of tuning and a lot of balancing that they need to do, from conduits to soul binds to all of the skills, some of the numbers on just the various classes and the tuning for both PvP and PvE. From a PvP perspective, there's a lot of things that are not tuned yet. The PvE trinkets are still super broken, and that versatility 2-piece bonus on the trinkets isn't really enough to outweigh using a PvE trinket. You still also have the ludicrous prices on upgrading your gear for like ranking up your honor gear. There's still a lot of tuning that needs to be done. And I feel like a lot of the groundwork of Shadowlands is like they said, is laid out, and to me looks very good. It's just a matter of they need to really properly tune it, because without that proper tuning, like that's going to be the difference between the expansion, in my opinion, at least being really good or bad, frankly. So I think them taking the time, you know, to just really make sure it is as polished as possible is really, really good. Like, what's that quote? Like a delayed game. Like, they have this, like, the quote about the delayed game. A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad. And I think that is extremely important for World of Warcraft. It's really, really important that they keep that in mind. And I'm happy that they made this decision. It's been something that I've been debating, like talking about on my YouTube channel. Like I was going to make a video covering like, should they delay Shadowlands, but obviously they did choose to. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about it. What does everybody think about the delay of Shadowlands? I do think, as much as I really want Shadowlands to be out and for BFA to be finally done with, I do think it was the right call. So I'm gonna have to give this a like and a retweet. So I do think it's the right call. As much as I really would like Shadowlands to be out, I think making sure it's as good as possible and that the expansion is as fun as possible is obviously the right call. It's gonna be here for years. So, you know, if we only have to delay it a month or two to make sure it's as polished as it can be for years to come, that's the most important thing. So let me know what you guys think. And yeah, well, I'm interested to see when the new launch date's going to be. At least we know when the pre-patch is, October 13th. So only a couple weeks away, but it'll be interesting to see when the new release date is. I guess if I was to take a stab at it, it would probably be November 10th. If I was to guess, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'd probably say November 10th would be my my tinfoil hat guess. But that obviously remains to be seen. So we'll have to see.